This is what we're dealing with, Sam. Just so you know. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 15 of The Real Word. Different location again, as always. We're always hopping around. We're going to be in this location for a while, though.
For a while, yes.
We're going to get some stuff on the wall. It'll be looking good.
It's going to be great.
It'll be great.
Hi.
You sound great, by the way.
I sound fabulous.
What's going on?
Though.
What happened?
You know, just a little ill. I'm
from
here.
The party last week, or?
I don't know what the hell it's from.
No?
I had a rough week.
Party was amazing.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Thank you. Do they know what we're talking about?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
How's the social media? We can link that up.
We can.
Sam.
Through a great party.
You may want to take notes. We got Sam now behind the camera. Brianna used to help us out, but
she ditched us.
But Brianna would agree that Sam is he's a professional.
Dude,
Brianna was just kind of helping us out on the video side.
Yeah, I mean, Brianna just loves everybody, and it's like rainbows and butterflies for her.
Brianna's the best of all time.
I mean, for shizzle.
All right, we're gonna talk about actually, if I was gonna build a robot,
it would
have the attitude. It would have the attitude of Brianna.
Ooh, then it could be like Brie, not like Lexa. It could be like Brie, come here.
Absolutely.
Brie.
Oh my gosh.
We'll name our robot Brie.
I would.
Okay.
We need an office robot, but you sent me this article. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, Realtor magazine. We don't actually look at Realtor very, very often.
No, it's usually Inman, but this one definitely caught my attention. They got a little video from CES. They went out to, when is CES usually? February? Whenever it was. They went out to CES, getting all the new technology, the robots.
So cool.
They had about 10 points in this video. There's 3 that I really want to touch on.
You were digging on. Yeah, go for it.
First one.
You're better at talking today than I am.
Just today, though.
Just today.
The first one is the robots greeting you literally at the house.
I love it. I mean, and I think that this is a prime example because I do still attend showings as the listing agent on occasions, but this is this would be a great example of it, when you're ill.
How many agents is this gonna just scare the living crap out of that there is, and you can see it in this video. There's a company in
the robot is actually at the showing for you. It's answering questions, so the robot actually has all of the answers to the buyer's questions. What's also really cool, which I really like, is that the robot is also recording the interaction. So as the agent or even as the buyer or whomever it is, you can actually see exactly what happened. I think what's really great about that, though, too, is that even when I am at a showing and my back is turned, I can't see maybe how they're interacting together.
Bree the robot taking a look.
I'd have Bree sort of, so then I can then actually figure out, what did they see that sort of turn them off, or what were they talking about that maybe we can then readjust. So I agree though, it's definitely scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely scary.
I don't think it's scary at all.
Well, no, but I'm just saying for those agents that, like you were saying, that put so much value.
Well, that's the thing, right? There are a lot of agents on their listing presentation that are going to talk about, you're paying me $6 because I'm going to be here personally, physically at every single listing.
To be here.
Now, do you believe that when you're present at a showing, that the chances go up of a sale happening?
So I'll say in 95% of the situations, no. I don't think the chances go up. That was the question. Do the chances go up?
Do the chances go up of a sale taking place by you physically being there and walking the buyer and the buyer's agent through the property, in the sense that
unless
you're going to describe the kitchen,
like a new construction or a new development, I think you should be there.
I agree.
But as a buyer's agent, I hate when the other agent is there, because sometimes that other agent spends so much time on things that I know my buyer could give 2 shits less about. Where at least if I'm there, I could be like, hey guys, look at the pantry, or hey, I know you don't care about the kitchen because I know my buyer. Let's head up to the master to make sure that the master is going to fit your need, right?
There's certain properties, I agree, listing agents need to be at. New development is one of them, because there's a lot of questions.
Right.
If there's an HOA involved, what's the HOA covering?
Right.
They're not going to read 50 pages for a showing.
No.
So they're going to want to be able to bounce those questions off a listing agent. Super important for new development. Super important for a lot of waterfront properties,
right?
Because you get into maybe the depth of the dock. I mean, you can write this stuff down
Flood,
too.
you know,
But
people are always like, "Oh shit, it's like on the water."
Absolutely.
You can totally override that.
a big farm property, anything that stretches acreage,
Yep.
it's going to be mandatory that you're there.
Yeah, like a barn, like
Absolutely.
going through the barns, going through paddocks. Yeah.
Maybe a couple different lots, but it's all being sold as one. That's going to be a situation.
Right.
But when you look at the majority of the
A
sales,
2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2.5
Exactly.
bath colonial. It's a
your
2,000
standard
square foot,
sale,
4-bedroom, 2.5 bath colonial.
if you're an agent right now that is promising your sellers that you're going to be present at the standard sale and you're building that into the value of your commission, you're extremely vulnerable over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, especially with what these robots can do. I mean, and you're actually sitting there like pimping that robot around.
I think without a robot, because
True.
if that's part of your value add right now, without robots, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
I'm putting a lockbox on the majority of those standard properties and feeling really good about it because of how much value and emphasis we put onto the marketing and everything else.
Right. And in all honesty, though, too, I think that we should also add a little bit of value with the relationships that we build with
Yep.
the other agents, though, too.
Absolutely.
So it's super easy for me to be like, "Hey, Sue, like, how'd it go?" Like, and she could be like, "Nick, like,
Yeah,
I don't
no
know,
doubt.
it was, the bathroom was kind of dirty." I could be like, "Oh, Sue, like, thanks for like the inside scoop, but like, hey, like, let them know this."
And you're always selling to two communities, right? You're selling to the
Exactly.
buyers, you're selling to the brokers, and having those relationships is super key.
Right.
I thought this robot did a really good job, probably a better job than I would do showing a house.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, probably definitely a better job than I could do.
I don't think that's very
So
difficult.
this this company REX Rex in Woodland Hills, California, is doing this. There's an agent that operates the robot, but you could be sitting in the office and be banging out a ton of showings and not getting it. It's really that car, the drive. You drive a half hour here or there, and you're killing a bunch of time in between.
Yeah, but it's also very uncomfortable. I mean, I can't tell you how many times
Yeah.
though I've left listings and like
Here's-
my buyers are like, "Man, that agent was really annoying."
There you go. You just nailed it. Like that actually happens more times than not, where you
Absolutely.
cost yourself a sale
Yeah.
because a certain agent didn't have the relationship, or they just weren't feeling them.
Right.
Weren't feeling that person.
Yeah.
What's the other one? You had voice. We know voice is like taking everything over, so you could talk. You already have, Apple Home, Google Home, Alexa, all these different things. But how about Alexa built into your mirror, right?
Yeah, in all honesty, though, too, I mean, just sitting here thinking about the whole voice thing. If an agent does have a question, instead of like, "Hey, Nicole, like I'm standing in the kitchen," it could just be like, "Hey, Alexa, like, is there central air here?"
Yeah.
And like the Alexa that's in the home could then answer the question for them.
Absolutely.
That actually, I think we need to work on that. That would
Well,
kind of
then
be fun.
Alexa can tell you all the dirty secrets of the home. You're going to have to train Alexa before the showings.
Yeah,
Not
that's
to give
kind
up the
of fun
goods.
now.
But yeah, I think that's super interesting. Obviously, I mean, it can get really weird. You could be standing in front of your fridge and say, "Should I have this beer?"
Well,
right? Or this
I
this
would
sandwich?
I would never want to know the answer. But you were actually asking me if I would ever want to stand in front of the mirror and have the mirror tell me how much makeup I should.
Oh, today I
put
think
on.
maybe, I don't know, a little bit of blush. It'd be good. Get on your way.
Do that.
Would you ask the mirror for advice?
I don't know.
Nicole, today's a good day to crawl back in bed. Take
Yeah,
the day.
that's the problem though. Then I'd be like, "You're right.
You're right. No
You're right."
problem
I'll
there.
tell my kids that.
What was the other one?
The other one was the gloves.
Oh, this one's super creepy.
Super creepy.
So basically, you put on these gloves, and this is
Well, it goes with VR though.
you've seen the
virtual
VR
reality.
like
Yep.
what do they call those? It's not a mask. It's like a
You
goggle.
can call them goggles. We'll call them
Goggles.
goggles.
Goggles, Sam. VR
Goggles. VR.
headset, something
Okay.
where you can basically do a walk through the house. That exists today.
It does.
Now they want you to put on a glove so you could be walking by and feeling the
And
table.
they're claiming that you can actually, like, if it's like a brick wall, you
Yep.
can actually feel the brick. You can actually open up a drawer when you're in the house. I mean,
I think the robot's coming. You're going to be able to take a tour with a robot. Definitely the mirror and anything voice activation, all that stuff. Your whole house is going to be voice activated at some point.
absolutely.
But are you really going to buy a house by using a glove?
No,
and
I think that the buyer still definitely has to go into the
Yeah.
house and experience it. But on the flip side, I mean, maybe instead of having to go to 9 houses, right? Because like even just this weekend, I went on a showing with a new buyer, and we probably, of the 5 homes that we looked at, we drove right by 3 of them.
Right.
So in those situations, if a buyer really knows what they want,
That's
what they're
why-
looking for, and they're not just like having fun, like looking at houses, because some buyers just like to look at houses, it would totally eliminate all that time.
That's why you're always going to have to go to the house. Always, majority of the time, you're going to have to go to the house as a buyer, because you're going to need to understand the neighborhood. You're going to have to drive all that kind of stuff. I think where this comes in handy is you got a relocation client. Yeah. I need to find a house this weekend. They're actually physically in the town. You have this in your office.
Right.
Okay, we're going to see these 10 properties. Then we're going to go back to the office, and you're going to be able to walk through 5. If you like any of those 5 virtually, we'll go see them tomorrow.
Or they do before
we'll
they
do our
even
second
get
showing,
here,
sign a contract. I don't think that's feasible, right? Because
Right.
all right, because think about it this way: you have a client coming from California to here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Where are they going to get the gloves?
Well, I mean, you would assume that.
You're going to mail it out?
Well, I mean, depending on your brokerage, maybe you're like, if you're like a large, like they'll have them there, right?
If you have a national brokerage, maybe theoretically every brokerage office is going to have these things. I think that's.
Well, that's a whole other thing too, because then you're also relying on the agent to actually have that feature already done.
And then so
it's sort of like
unless you got a referral, right, from that California agent. None of those agents in California are going to help you out when you walk in and say, hey, I want to buy a house in Connecticut. Like, will you just help me out here?
Yeah, again, you're also relying heavily on the listing agent, though, to actually get that footage. It's kind of like Matterport, right? I mean, we have Matterport for a few of our listings, which is great for people that, are living in New York and they want to see that new development that we have without having to actually come here first. But if the agent isn't providing the Matterport, your client that's in California can't actually see it without really physically going into it. So I do think we have a long way to go there with that.
That one's super.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many
It's just a little bit too much for me. Like, I just don't see it taking off in the next 5-10 years.
No, I don't either. But I mean, even now, think about how many agents still don't use like professional photography. I mean,
which is insane. If you're an agent out there not using professional photography, you should turn your license in.
If you have an agent that took photos of your home,
it should be illegal to list property without having a professional shot. It's just craziness.
For shizzle.
All right, definitely. If you guys have been following along, subscribe up if you're watching on YouTube or just listening on SoundCloud.
There's a video. You guys can watch the quick video. For this.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna link up the Realtor Mag. There's a whole bunch of other stuff they talk about with the robots, taking a bigger role in real estate. 100% believe in most of it. I just some of this other stuff's probably a little far fetched for where we are.
Right.
We'll link up the House of Social Media Bill. Give you a little love there.
Thank you.
Why not?
Yeah.
But definitely subscribe up. Leave us a comment if there is something happening in the business you want us to talk about. Leave that in the comments. Send us an email.
We haven't had a final word.
I know.
In a
we
while.
haven't done the final word because the final word would always come from you, and we're happy to do that. Oh, almost forgot.
What is it?
We got the clam chowder.
We did. That worked out.
All right, so we got some of you guys that responded with the clam chowder in the last episode. We're going to reach out this week and send you something. Still not saying what. But it'll be super cool, and we hope you guys
It might be a really cool paperclip, but
it will not be a paperclip. You can post that in the comments when you get that. So subscribe up, and we'll see you on 16.
No words this time. No letters.
Words?
Drop us a P.
Drop us the P. All right? Drop the P.
If you made it to the end.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye.